Hi, it's Tracy Lewis from Stuffin' Things. It is that time again. This time I got my paper pumpkin on time, and I'm heading home now to work on it, so stay tuned. Alright, I'm home. I'm ready to get this month's paper pumpkin unboxed. It is called The Gift of Fall. I did buy the add-on kit. I'm going to see if I can use the add-on kit primarily for the alternatives. I'm not sure if I'll need any other items than that, but we'll see. I've done really good at not looking at the kit anywhere online. I did receive it early. Today's the 18th, and it might take me into tomorrow. It's pretty late in the day, and I've already crafted all day with Libby, so I'm not sure if my wrist can handle that much crafting. This month's spot is Mary Merlot. It looks like we've got a thankful for friends like you. Enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving. That's very good. Grateful to family like you. Grateful for family like you. And then some nice, I guess they are a sprig with some berries on it. All right, so let's see what we've got in here. I will tell you that the add-on kit, which I've already received and opened, is geared toward card makers. There's only 2 designs. They're smaller size cards, but I believe they're still legal size to ship USPS. And it looks like we have gift bags. I'll cut this way to try not to cut anything that I shouldn't cut. We have loads of sequins, 2 sizes. These are smaller and then larger. A sheet of dimensionals. Six paper bags. This looks like seaming twine, the orange, and then some tan fiber. So yeah, it's a little bit thinner than the normal but this is about what size it is, and it's very fine. I've got labels, 6 of them with little holes. I see some double-sided adhesive. Get the instructions out. For 8 wreath dies, 6 more labels. I am not sure. Oh, these are 3. Here, I'll take one out so you can see it. It's a 3 petal leaf die. Looks like that. All right. 6 die cut stitched, and a bunch of different crumb cake, looks like, labels in some different sizes. Oh, 2 sheets of them, lots of them. I see. Some vellum, really pretty vellum leaf die cuts. More leaf. Boy, there's a lot of materials in here. This must have been geared up for the add-on, which comes with the 24 card bases. And then one sheet more of this style of leaf sprigs. So quite a few different choices. And I am going to say, let me look at this before I say it out loud. Here's the add-on bundle that I ordered, which has 24 envelopes and 24 card bases. Oh, sorry about the red ink. This is from crafting earlier today using the new sprinkles. I've got very inky today. So the add-on bundle has a ombre and then a wreath. And then here's the two types of tags you can make. You get a total of 6, and I actually believe that I am going to not make any of the bags up. I don't really have space for 3D. I will go ahead and make up one of each of these tags to put on a card base of some variety. And those will be the start of my alternatives. So I'm actually going to just move right into some A2 card alternatives, and I will be back soon. All right, I'm working on the creates of the tags. I have decided, as I said, that I'm not going to use these bags. And the tags that I create, I will turn into my first alternatives. And I thought I would finish up these two tags together, as well as show you the add-on pack. The add-on pack comes with 3 different pieces. It comes first with 24 envelopes. Unless I can use this corner piece or this pattern, I will not use these, and I'll use these to create cards to either send or give to people. The inside of them, unfortunately, don't have a pattern, so there's really not a lot besides these 2 elements that I can consider using in an alternative in some way. Then there are 12 card bases with the kind of a sunset ombre. This is the way it needs to go, but once you cut it in half, you can flip it to either way you want to use it. And this is the other, so you get 12 each of these. So I will be using these today, and perhaps the envelope, and then as well as possibly more pieces. So I've got my dimensionals cut down into halves, ready to go. I went ahead and there are 3 sentiments plus an enjoy. I haven't done the enjoy yet, but I did create the 3 sentiments here using the Mary Merlot ink. I'm going to use the smaller one on the burgundy and the larger one over here on the larger wreath. I have all of the pieces cut because I will probably be using the pieces over and over again for alternatives. This is one of those really piece part rich sets that I love. I already created a bow with the fine yellow seaming tape that I plan on using over here. So I will go ahead, and the very first step that I haven't finished, I cut 2 24-inch lengths of twine. I'm just always amazed at how many materials I get to play with. Alright, so that's going to be the tag element, and then I still have this guy. And I have to decide if I want to put him up top, which is probably a good place for him, but I am going to wait until I get my bases set up. So I'm going to go away for just a second to prepare those, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back to finish this guy off. I added the bow, and because this is a curly on a small spool ribbon, the way I tame the curls with these ribbons is I use my Stampin' Up tool, I use the spatula, I take off one of the dots and I will sneak a dot underneath different areas where the ribbon is not behaving, and then you end up with a nicely behaved bow. So this guy's ready. I then went and created a A2 size, slightly narrower. I'll show you how the card base fits on a full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You end up with it too wide, so I trimmed off a little bit off the one side to come up with my base. I chose white, which is significant because on the other one I chose a different color, and I will explain that when I get to it. So a little bit of the wreath shows over on each side, but I think that it is still plenty good enough to adhere. I am not going to pop it up any more than it already is. I have the label popped up. And I'm going to center the banner, though you could opt instead to have it line up at the top. And that is my first alternative card, created using the create instructions for the tag. Now I'm going to quickly whip up this second tag. I have then prepared a base for this to go on. In this case, I found a mismatch on the color. As always, this color of white is a grayish white, and Whisper White is a yellowish white. So see, you might not be able to see it, but my eye can tell there's such a difference that I opted instead to go with a base of Mary Merlot, and it will be applied. Now, in this case, I'm actually half inclined to pop for whatever reason, my eye thinks this banner needs to be popped up, where for some reason the other banner I thought looked just fine not popped up. So let's get this applied, and that will make alternative number 2 finished, and I will go away and do some more thinking on what other fun things I can do with this set. And that completes the first 2 alternatives using the tags as instructed in the create instruction. Hey, I wanted to show you a bunch of the different pieces I've been working on. as well as giving you some mix and match options before I put everything together, because once they're together it's hard for me to mix and match and show you. So first I wanted to go through this incredible color selection that you can choose from, because if you look at these pieces, they are of course filled with color options, and I would even say that there's more colors on here than what I got off of the instructions, but I did want to lay out all of the colors so you get a good idea of how much variety there is. Crushed curry, mint macaron, crumb cake, soft suede, calypso coral, Mary Merlot, which is the ink, blackberry bliss, pretty peacock, and old olive. So as you can see, there's just a huge variety of colors you can choose from, and I would even say, looking at this, you can even go into the lighter yellow. The pretty peacock can go into possibly the Bermuda Bay, pear pizzazz, any of the pinks. So I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere you want with this particular set. So now that I have shown you all of your color choices, I picked a few of them, and I didn't bother with any dies this time because there are so many die cuts here that I pretty much just focused on cardstock and embossing folders. So the embossing folders I think that work well would be the scripted, subtle, and the leaves. So these were the three that I did samples of. And then I also, because we have the cardstock that has the crumb cake, but if you flip it over it's white, I pulled out a sanding block, which most of you probably either have sandpaper or a sanding block in your garages somewhere hiding. And I went ahead and did the layered leaves on the crumb cake and then sanded with the block, which the color comes off quite easily. So you can just go to town creating any number of fun effects with the backs of the smaller card bases when you cut them in two. Then I took, and this is a handle from one of the bags. It is just a heavy raffia wrapped, and you can do all sorts of fun things with this. I took and crinkled up a bunch of the bag material. I have some fully opened up and not wrinkled up, so you could do fun, interesting effects with the bags. I have now put together, those are just some random pieces. I have some gold glimmer and some vellum, plain vellum, because we have our colored vellum pieces. And I will show you a few different layering options. Then I'm going to go away and put together a few more alternatives, and we'll stop it at 5, because I think this is one of those sets that I could go on forever making cards. So I came up with some components similar to the tags, and then I also stamped up a couple of extra labels to play with, and I doubled up one banner also for fun. So a fun one that I was really liking was the vertical double banner, and the Happy Thanksgiving makes an awesome, easy Thanksgiving card. You could take this here and put this on the pretty peacock and throw on either the Enjoy with some sequins, and I would wrap some twine, or even this is a happy birthday that I pulled from Beautiful Bouquet. And so this is probably going to be one of them. I'm always short happy birthday cards, so I always try to make myself make at least one. then there's the sanded, and I'm just going to show, you would have to trim this down, and you could even put this on here with the texture. I like the Happy Thanksgiving with the trimmed down Blackberry Bliss. I also like this particular one. Really, I like this a lot on the Pretty Peacock. And you could do either the Happy Thanksgiving or build up a fun layers here with the various die cut pieces. I have, here we go, I have vellum. That you could do something like that. This is my best completed. Vellum is a great way to break up, I'd say, one of the embossed backgrounds to give it some variety and look like there's many layers without really adding many layers. I'm always looking for tricks like that since I have to mail my cards out, so it would even look good. You can throw vellum as a layer on any of these and it will come out lovely. So let's try vellum over here. And this is getting to where I would say there's a lot of crushed curry going on, so it's probably not the best color combination, but just to show you that you still get some good color variation with the vellum. And this one. I've just picked my personal 3 favorite colors of all of those colors. These are my favorites at the moment. All right, and then here's the, I really like this. This is a great combination. I would love to make this into a Thanksgiving card. I may even use some of the kit components since I did buy the add-on. I just might have to use these colors and these different pieces in my Thanksgiving cards. And then the last to show is just how pretty the Blackberry Bliss goes. So I'm going to now take all of these pieces away, finish up the cards, and come back for a final reveal. I will probably end up with 5, maybe 6, and then I will get this processed and out to you guys as soon as possible. Alright, I have finished a whole bunch of alternatives. I think I stopped at 8. Oh, sorry, and I'm sitting down and I'm shaking. That's how easy it is to shake the trailer. Even I can shake it. So I've got a pile of cards here. This is my first one. I focused more on Thanksgiving, and I actually believe I'm going to finish these up and make them into some of my Thanksgiving cards. So that is the first one, and it is the banner, both banners. They line up perfectly, and I just had to trim off the white. I used the back of one of the cards that came in the bonus pack, and I embossed it with the corrugated. Then the Mossy Meadow, which is the back layer for the card base, is embossed with a subtle embossing folder. There's twine and sequins. This is the one that's I showed you already, and I added a bow. I don't think I had the bow on there initially. So it is one of the banners that was made in the Create. Alright, so this one uses layered leaves, it uses the pretty peacock, and this is the envelope flap cut off. Yes, part of the sticky is back there, and I just left it on there, and then this is a little strip of the seaming tape ribbon, and it has some layers of the foliage with some sequins, and the happy birthday is from Beautiful Bouquet. I always need birthday cards, so I did make that one. And back to Thanksgiving, this is a Blackberry Bliss background with the script embossing folder, a little strip of gold glimmer, and the rest are pieces from the kit. I showed you embossing the back of one of the cards and the fact that the back of it is white, so it's a white base, and I used the sanding block, which is still sitting here. So any sanding block or piece of sanding paper you can run along and rough up to get to the white very easily, and this sentiment is from Waterfront. I was just looking for a vertical alignment sentiment to show you what it would look like. Here's the other alternative that was from the Create, and I didn't do anything to it. I left it as is and just put it on one of the two designs of cards, and then the back piece is Mary Merlot. And I didn't do any effects on the Mary Merlot, so it is not embossed. Another Thanksgiving using the trees. I just got this. I had this folder before I lost everything, and so it took me a long time to get around to reordering it, and I think it'll be perfect for the Thanksgiving cards. My husband had a suggestion I'm going to try a little bit later, and that is adding some white ink to the embossing folder to these trees and see if I can get them to be white. So that'll be kind of fun to do. And the last two are not all the way put together. This is a Thanksgiving, and it's actually not on the white yet. And I just did some different pieces, and I made a background using the big berry sprig. Added the colored vellum berry sprig to kind of tie it all together, and I wanted to do it on white, and this shows you the white label, and that is Whisper White, and I think with the thinner borders of Whisper White, the difference in the whites doesn't show as much. And then the very last one is actually just a partial. I'm not even going to do, I didn't do a photo of it, and it is just showing the color. This is shaded spruce, and I love, this is the envelope itself, the back of it, and I cut it out. I did try it on ombre Thanksgiving. It didn't really go anywhere. I think that this would make a really pretty Christmas card with some work, so I just wanted to throw that out there for inspiration. And that is everything I'm gonna, I don't even know if I can fit them all in the camera, but I will. I already took pictures of them all, so there'll be a collage at the very end. Not a collage, this is the collage. It will be a carousel at the very end, walking through all of the designs. So to show them, I'm gonna have to have some overlaps. Very, very beautiful kit. Lots of materials. I sometimes do this. Let me get out the leftover materials. It is amazing, this kit. If you're thinking of the add-on and you're afraid you're going to run out of materials to use, I don't think. So if you don't use this small size of cards, this add-on has 24 envelopes, 24 card fronts in 2 designs. I actually didn't, I realized I didn't use, oh I did. So this one uses the other card front, which is Pretty Peacock. It has a wreath behind this that's really pretty, and I really didn't do much with it because I was trying to get everything used as much as I could, and that just kind of fell off. So if you take these envelopes and cut them apart, you saw that I used the flap, and I made a partial card with the back, and then on this side there's nothing. So you have all that if you get the add-on. I still have a bunch of pieces of the bags and hadn't done anything with the bags because I was so busy getting my more fancy Thanksgiving cards. I've got some pieces left from me playing. I still have almost a full sheet of the vellum, a half a sheet of the sprigs, a bunch of labels. I haven't even taken these out yet. Have these, still some other 1 rounds, and then there's 6 of each, so I didn't use them all. And then there's the banners left, so there's still tons of material here. This yellow ribbon and the twine. I used a lot of the twine, and there's still a ton left. So this, I think, is going to be a kit that stretches really far for people and is great for doing holiday and fall cards. All right, I hope you're all inspired, and thanks for watching.